Ever since I was 12 years old, it's been my dream to be a YouTuber. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, and let's get into this video. Why you should work a 9 to 5. Let me tell you why you should work a 9 to 5, okay? First, you have predictable schedule. So you have somebody making your schedule already. I mean, you can say what days you want, unless they're like really flexible and stuff. You can say what days you want off or, things like that. But for the most part, the schedule is just really predictable. You know when you're gonna work, what time you're gonna work, when you're gonna clock out, all of that. So, I mean, that makes it a lot easier on you, You have stability and you have routine. Simple as that. The thing about not having a 9 to 5, you don't have those things. So it's like your schedule can really just be all over the place. So you never know when you're going to work and when you're not going to work. It's just unpredictable. But still, I would rather have that than 9 to 5. Anyway, so the next one that I have is you have financial security, right? So you have a steady paycheck and you have benefits. So health insurance and I don't really have to get into that. This is boring, but you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, your paycheck, you know how much you're gonna get paid. And then the next thing with a 9 to 5, you have career advancement, so you can get promoted, to higher ranks, whatever's in your field, to management, And I think a 9 to 5, it does a good job at kind of pushing you towards higher advancement in the company. I wouldn't say all 9 to 5s do that, but the ones I've worked at, they do a good job at trying to push you towards that without forcing it on you. Does that make sense? Like, you have the option, if you want to move up in the company, you can, and if not, and you want to stay where you are, that's cool too. You have a work-life balance. That's another good one too. Like, you can work however you need to work, and then after that you got plenty of time to yourself and you have plenty of time for hobbies. If you don't have time, I mean, make time. I think it's best to have a 9 to 5 or you can have or you can go to your job or to your boss and be like, oh, is it okay if I cut my hours down a little bit? It's just to kind of give you some wiggle room for other things in life and stuff. But it's hard because some jobs allow you to do that and other jobs don't. So I don't know. It's about really finding what 9 to 5 works best for you and what meets to your needs. You can go to them and ask for less hours. I mean, it depends. Luckily, for me, I had a 9 to 5 where I could be like, oh, I want to work more, so can I have more hours? Or when I'm getting tired and burnt out, I'm like, so can I work less hours actually? I changed my mind. Can I do that? And it's so funny whenever I did, because my boss would be like, you want to work less hours? Like, yes, actually, yes, I do. Mental health and all that. But yeah, it just really depends on what job meets your needs. And a lot of people like to stay in jobs that don't meet their needs, and then they talk about how much they don't like their job or they hate their job. And I'm like, find another one that works for you. You don't have to stay at that job that you hate. Yeah. At that point, you're just torturing yourself. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. Find somewhere else. Job security. So, I mean, that pretty much speaks for itself. Less risk of unemployment. Yeah, the thing about being quote unquote unemployed or self-employed, whatever you want to call it, right? The thing is, you never know when things are gonna go wrong. I feel like you're more at risk to, not be able to pay bills or, because you didn't make this much this month. That's kind of the risk you take when it comes being an entrepreneur, But I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that part. They're kind of just like, oh, it's just easy. You should just do it. You should do it. No, it's not for everyone. Honestly, I feel like if you're trying to pick between a 9 to 5 and being an entrepreneur, try both and see what works for you. Because if you have only been in 9 to 5s, you know, and then you're still wondering, oh, I do want to do something for myself or build something on my own and explore different careers and things like that, right? Or I have ideas and I have aspirations and I want to just go for that. You know, I feel like you should give yourself time to do that, you know? It's hard to do it when you have a job, but if your job kind of allows you to, or you could just make it a side hustle. Me personally, I tried the side hustle thing, like trying to do YouTube on the side while also having a job. It didn't work for me because I found myself kind of right back into just only doing my 9 to 5 and spending less time on this right here. So it didn't work for me because I was just like, it's gonna have to be one or the other. Like, I can't do both. That works for some people, don't work for me, okay? I'm one of those people that's like, I need to focus on one thing at a time. So I had to pick and choose. Do I want the 9 to 5 or do I want to focus on the YouTube thing? And, you know, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, there's always a 9 to 5 around the corner. I can understand why it could be hard for other people to do that. So I feel like for them, it's like, find a way to do both, you know, if you can. The next beneficial thing is paid time off, right? You get sick days, you get holidays, you get vacation days, you know, and you still get paid. So, I mean, hey, if that works for you, that's great, you know. Now, the cons of working a 9 to 5, let me tell you something. Office politics, gossip, drama, you know, conflicts, stress from just other colleagues, you know, things like that. I can understand it gets very, very irritating. Like, everybody's always talking about, oh, so-and-so did this when they were supposed to be cleaning the bathrooms or whatever. Oh, did you hear about so-and-so? Or... And then you be one of those people where it's like, I don't care. Like, why? Like, I don't care. I'm just here to clock in and clock out, man. I'm just trying to do my job, get paid, and go home. I really don't care. So not having a 9 to 5, you don't have to worry about that. And I mean, that doesn't even really have to go with entrepreneur. I mean, you can also just have like a work from home situation, you know. You can still have like a 9 to 5 but work from home, depending on what it is. Daily travel. So traveling to and from work can take a long time. For me, I have always had a job that was right nearby. You know, I'm not driving like 30 or to like an hour to work and back. I'm just not doing that. But other people do, you know, and if that's you, I mean, that requires you having a 9 to 5. It's having to drive an hour, sometimes 2 hours just to get to your job. It could be like an hour, but then you're stuck in traffic. Or it can even be 30 minutes and you're stuck in traffic and it ends up being like an hour or an hour and a half. So it's like, brother. I'm really not trying to drive this 30-minute ride. I'm really not trying to drive an hour to work and back. And I feel like between, like, in those hours that you lose from being in traffic, you could spend that time doing something else. Creativity constraints. Your work environment might, cause for lack of creativity or ideas, personal goals, anything like that, you don't really get to have that in a work environment. You just have to do what they tell you to do. Be a good little employee and just do whatever they tell you. So you don't get to have ideas, you don't get to do this or, try and... I mean, you can, but I doubt it's gonna get very far. You don't really get to say so. Oh yeah, and then you also have office distractions. So you got noise, and the noise can sometimes drive away your focus. And then you got other people in your ear, colleagues trying to distract you and all this other stuff. And then if you're in meetings and people are bothering you. And then I think limited opportunity for being an entrepreneur, just in general. You got this 9 to 5, you clock in, you clock out, and then by the time you clock out, you're too tired to do anything else. And then it doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship, like a side hustle. Sometimes you don't even have time to even go to the gym because you're just so tired and gassed from working this 9 to 5, So I feel like that's another con that, comes with a 9 to 5. But I still think 9 to 5s are very beneficial, especially if you're trying to do both, like entrepreneurship and a 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5 can pay for that job that you're trying to do. You know what I mean? So I feel like people that are kind of dogging 9 to 5s, it's like, I mean, you can use it to your advantage. I think the issue is to not get stuck, The big deal is to just not get stuck. Because if you get stuck, then you get comfortable. And comfortability is the worst thing you can do in life. Like, I've been comfortable my entire life, So this is the first time where I'm actually very uncomfortable, in an uncomfortable situation. But I'm actually glad that I'm in an uncomfortable situation, because the possibilities are endless, But, yeah, having a 9 to 5 is good. I just think it's also, just don't get stuck and to switch it up every now and then. You can still be at a 9 to 5, but maybe try a different 9 to 5, Don't stay stuck at that job for your entire life. Then you start to kind of wonder, like, what's going on and how come I'm not able to provide for myself or provide for my family or whatever, So when it starts to get into that point, you got to kind of think like, okay, what should I do now? Should I stay at my job or should I try to find another job that will meet my needs and so I'm able to pay my bills and, things like that. So stick to what's best for you, whether that's a 9 to 5 entrepreneur, or whether that's both. At the end of the day, you really just kind of have to figure out what it is that you want and what works for you. Because what works for you doesn't work for other people, or what works for other people might not work for you, So, but yeah. That's why I think, personally, a traditional job could be better than entrepreneurship. So, but there are cons. It's just, if you're okay with those cons, then, yeah, then stay where you are. That's all that matters. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.